Hey, if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that nutty bell because it really helps out.
Chat! What do you mean I can't peg you?
In the boundless and often chaotic realm of online content creation, where trends come and go like waves crashing upon a digital shore and countless personalities compete for fleeting moments of attention, there exists a rare kind of presence on the internet that doesn't demand the spotlight but instead invites you into it. That presence is Silvervale, a VTuber and streamer who exudes a serene warmth that feels less like a performance and more like the embrace of a familiar, long-lost friend. Unlike the often high-octane, algorithm-chasing personalities that dominate platforms like Twitch or YouTube, Silvervale opts for an aesthetic and emotional language that speaks to the heart, radiating a kind of ethereal softness in both her visual representation and her interactions with her fans. Her content isn't just something to watch, it's something to feel, to sink into like a soft blanket on a rainy day, and in the vast digital landscape that can often feel impersonal or aggressive, Silvervale represents a bastion of sincerity and affection, a luminous moon in a crowded, blinking skyline. Much of what makes Silvervale so uniquely impactful stems from her ability to cultivate an atmosphere of warmth and comfort, a digital sanctuary where escapism doesn't mean disconnecting from your emotions, but rather reconnecting with the parts of yourself the real world often overlooks. Her soft, dreamlike voice, pastel-themed avatar design, and cozy streams aren't mere aesthetics, they're the building blocks of a feeling, a vibe, a space that invites vulnerability, authenticity, and peace. Her community isn't just a fan base, it is a shared experience of joy, comfort, and belonging. Every gentle laugh, every heartfelt comment, every moment of playful goofiness feels like a thread in a much larger tapestry of genuine care. Silvervale isn't trying to be larger than life, she's trying to make life for those watching her feel a little bit better, a little bit more beautiful, and a little bit more bearable. And in a space where creators often chase engagement with shock and spectacle, Silvervale chooses gentleness and connection, and that choice is nothing short of revolutionary. This essay therefore will explore, in layered and rather detailed fashion, what makes Silvervale's presence so uniquely comforting and deeply enjoyable. I will examine how her aesthetic choices, her emotional intelligence, and the calming cadence of her content all coalesce into a signature style that's as enchanting as it is soothing. Each chapter will dive into a specific facet of her artistry, where together these elements form a cohesive picture of a creator who isn't just entertaining but healing, a digital artist whose very essence brings light into a world that so often feels dim. Silvervale is more than just a streamer, she's a source of solace, a beacon of joy, and this essay is a tribute to the wonderfully gentle magic that she continues to gift to so many.
Wait, natural milk flavors? Like natural breast milk flavors? What does breast milk taste like? Does breast milk have the flavor? Do they add flavors to milk? Is there sugar? Is there sweeteners in milk?
Among the many intricacies that make Silvervale such a uniquely comforting presence in the vast and often stimulating world of digital media, her character design stands as a central pillar of her appeal, a carefully crafted fusion of soft fantasy and ethereal charm that feels less like a branding decision and more like an emotional resonance manifested in visual form. From the very first glance, Silvervale's pastel colours of soft pinks, pale purples and gentle blues does something rare in this era of visual overload. It soothes. Rather than screaming for attention, her design quietly invites it, like a dew-kissed morning bathed in the gentle light of dawn. These colours are not chosen at random, they are, at least in my opinion, come across as an intentional language of comfort, nostalgia and dreamlike serenity. They whisper rather than shout, evoking feelings of calm, sweetness and quiet introspection. In a sea of content creators who often embrace louder and more chaotic aesthetics, Silvervale's visual presentation is a kind of haven, an artistic breath of fresh air that settles gently into the hearts of her viewers and fans. Her character design carries a fairy tale quality, yet it remains deeply grounded in emotional accessibility. There's an otherworldly cuteness to her avatar, complete with long flowing hair, delicate features, and rather whimsical accessories, but it never crosses into the cold or unapproachable. Instead, she feels like a character who stepped out of a storybook written not just for fantasy, but for healing. There's an intimacy in the way her avatar moves and emotes, a softness in every blink and gesture that reflects the inner warmth she radiates through her voice and lovely personality. The design is not overly elaborate or garish, rather it is refined and intentional, reinforcing a sense of tranquility and magic. The floral and celestial motifs that often accompany her look only deepen the emotional experience, adding layers of metaphorical meaning, flowers representing growth and fragility, stars symbolizing dreams and distant hope. Altogether, these elements create not just a visual identity, but a feeling of safety wrapped in gentle whimsy. For many viewers, Silvervale's character design is more than just something to look at, it's something to emotionally respond to. It acts as a visual lullaby, creating a mood that primes the heart for joy, softness, and gentle connection. Her color palette and aesthetic choices signal to the viewer that they are entering a space free from judgment and harshness, a space where gentleness is not only accepted but celebrated. Whether someone is watching her to unwind after a stressful day of a 9 to 5, to find a sense of belonging, or simply to be near someone whose visual presence radiates kindness, Silvervale's design becomes a visual embodiment of what her streams represent, an emotional sanctuary. In this world so often drenched in harshness and overstimulation, Silvervale's design philosophy provides a radiant, pastel-hued antidote, a balm in digital form, swaddling the soul in softness.
I can whistle you if I want. Ah, fuck. Hi, chat. Hi. Looking pretty fine today.
There is something profoundly calming and instantly disarming about Silvervale's voice, an auditory balm that wraps around you like a familiar melody you didn't know you missed. In a landscape where energy often manifests in exaggerated reactions and fast-paced dialogue, Silvervale's voice cuts through with its own unique charm and rhythm, measured, soft-spoken, and warm. It's not simply the tonal quality, though the airy, lighting cadence is undeniably soothing, it's the emotional undertones that layered within her every word. Whether she's reading chat messages, giggling through a game's awkward moment, or offering her thoughts on something personal, her voice continues and will continue to carry a sincerity that is impossible to fake. It's a voice that doesn't demand your attention with volume or velocity, but earns it through empathy. It slows time down, inviting you to be present, to feel comforted in the moment. For many, hearing her speak is like being gently guided into a mental space free of noise and chaos, where the world softens and stress melts away, if only for a little while. What's truly remarkable is how consistently Silvervale uses her voice not just to entertain, but to create a safe emotional environment. There's almost a therapeutic quality to how she speaks, whether it's playful banter, subtle teasing, or simply narrating her in-game thoughts. Her voice exudes a low-key reassurance that tells the viewer, you're safe here. It's the auditory equivalent of a weighted blanket, giving her streams a distinct emotional fingerprint that makes returning to them feel less like watching a show and more like visiting a cherished friend. This aspect of her charm is not often seen in content creators, where vocal performance is usually geared toward hype or spectacle. Silvervale, however, turns softness into strength, proving that comfort can be compelling and gentleness can be magnetic. Her laughter, breathy and unforced, doesn't just fill the room, it lights it up. Her silences are never awkward but reflective, even calming to some, because her presence fills the quiet with intent and affection. Moreover, her voice is not just a tool for engagement, it's a bridge between the digital and the emotional. For many of her fans, Silvervale streams have become a routine source of mental comfort, with her voice acting as a grounding force in their day-to-day lives. There's a kind of emotional alchemy at play. Loneliness dissolves, anxiety is dulled, and even the worst days are made a little bit more bearable through her simple act of speaking. When she offers encouragement to her chat, it doesn't feel performative, it feels like a genuine extension of care. When she empathizes with fans going through something difficult, her voice carries a tenderness that validates those feelings. In many ways, Silvervale has turned her voice into more than a method of communication, she has transformed it into a signature of peace. And in a world that often feels and demands that we should be louder, tougher and more performative, the quiet strength of Silvervale's voice is a revolution in kindness, proof that comfort can be powerful and that sometimes the gentlest of voices leave the deepest of echoes.
Sexual remarks, freedom to fuck.
Among the many qualities that make Silvervale such a singular and irreplaceable presence within the VTuber world, one of the most delightful is her ability to seamlessly balance serene calmness with moments of utterly endearing, wholesome chaos. Whilst her aesthetic and voice create a soft and soothing atmosphere, she never shies away from leaning into a goofy, playful side, injecting her streams with light-hearted absurdity that never feels jarred or forced. This balance is part of her magic. Silvervale doesn't break the mood when she giggles uncontrollably at something silly, blurts out a spontaneous joke, or makes a self-deprecating comment. Instead, she enhances the experience by showing that comfort doesn't have to be quiet all the time. It can be loud, ridiculous, and unfiltered, as long as it comes from a place of genuine joy. Her playfulness is refreshing, not abrasive. It's the kind of silliness that makes you laugh along because it feels like something your best friend would say in the middle of a sleepover. Silvervale streams are full of these unexpected little bursts of energy, funny voices, dramatic overreactions, or even completely random outbursts that spiral into contagious laughter. Yet, what makes them so special is that they are never disconnected from who she is as a whole. These moments don't feel like gimmicks or attempts to perform for the audience. They feel natural, like spontaneous reflections of her inner joy and boundless charm. It's not the kind of chaos that seeks attention, it's the kind that's born from authenticity and a sincere desire to share happiness with others. Even in high-stress gaming situations or technical hiccups, Silvervale often meets challenges with an infectious laugh or a humorous remark, turning frustration into a shared joke with her chat. In these moments, she doesn't just entertain, she uplifts, transforming minor annoyances into moments of levity that strengthen the bond between her and her fans. This kind of wholesome chaos has become a core part of what makes her streams so comforting and enjoyable, where there is an intimacy in laughing together over the silly or unexpected. Her ability to shift between cozy conversations and spontaneous bursts of hilarity is a testament to her understanding of emotional rhythm, when to let the energy rise and when to bring it back down again. It keeps her content feeling alive, genuine, and completely free of pretense. The result is a space where viewers not only feel safe, but also feel joyfully human, free to laugh, to unwind, and to be themselves, without judgment. In a world that often feels like it's spinning too fast, Silvervale's brand of gentle goofiness reminds us to slow down and savor the silly. It's a kind of humor that doesn't punch down, doesn't try too hard, and never sacrifices kindness for a laugh. It's pure radiant joy, and it's one of the most comforting energies a creator can offer.
I really like Chick-fil-A salad, but I don't think I would put that as a favorite. It's not, it's Chick-fil-A, okay? Cause they Chick-fil-A your tummy.
At the heart of Silvervale's charm lies a rare and beautiful quality that transcends her visuals, her voice, and even her comedic timing: emotional authenticity. In a digital world where many creators feel the pressure to always perform, to maintain a facade of invincibility or relentless cheer, Silvervale breaks that mold by daring to be vulnerable, by allowing her audience to see not only her joy, but also her uncertainty, her stress, and her tender humanity. When she shares her thoughts candidly or expresses gratitude in a way that visibly moves her, there is no trace of artifice. It's real. You can hear it in the subtle tremble of her voice, in the pauses she takes mid-sentence when she's trying to gather herself, and in the genuine appreciation she expresses towards her community. These moments of openness don't shatter the comfortable vibe she's cultivated, they enhance it. They are reminders that she is not just an entertainer on a screen, but a human being inviting you into her world and doing so with unparalleled sincerity. Silvervale's transparency doesn't seek attention or pity, it seeks connection. She shares not to dramatize but to relate, to make her viewers feel less alone in their own experiences. Whether it's opening up about personal struggles, anxieties, or even just a tough day, her willingness to speak from the heart transforms her content into something more than escapism. It becomes catharsis. It lets them know that it's okay to not be okay, that even in spaces built around joy and laughter, there is a room for the full spectrum of emotion. It creates a mutual understanding, an unspoken promise that this community is not just here for the good times, but for the hard and difficult ones too. In doing so, Silvervale creates a space where people are allowed to feel, to be open, and to embrace their vulnerability without the fear of rejection or ridicule. It is through this emotional authenticity that Silvervale has cultivated not just a fan base, but in my opinion, a family. Her audience doesn't simply watch her, they root for her, cry for her, and celebrate her victories with genuine pride, because she's so open about who she is and what she feels. Her community feels invested in her journey on a deeply personal level. The bond she has formed with her viewers is built not on perfection, but on presence, on showing up as she is day after day, whether it's radiant or wary. That kind of emotional honesty is magnetic, not because it's flawless, but because it's real. It's what makes her streams feel less like content and more like company. Silvervale proves that you don't have to build a wall between yourself and your audience to be respected. You can let them in, and in doing so, you can create something that is not only enjoyable, but profoundly meaningful. In a world that often asks us to mask how we truly feel, Silvervale gives us permission to unmask, to breathe, and to simply be ourselves.
I was blocked by the power of God! Holy shit! I don't even know what's happening anymore! You know what? I can do that too, motherfucker. Fuck you!
In the ever-expanding universe of online content creators, Silvervale stands out not by being the loudest or the most sensational, but by crafting an atmosphere that is unmistakably hers, one that resonates and radiates gentleness, warmth, and emotional refuge. Every detail from her soft and inviting color palette to her soothing voice and playfully wholesome, chaotic energy comes together like a brushstroke on a canvas designed to ease the burdens of everyday life. But beyond aesthetics and presentation, it's the core of her character, the emotional authenticity, and the genuine love she expresses towards her community, and her rare ability to create a feeling of safe companionship that defines what makes Silvervale so enjoyable and so comforting to watch. Her streams aren't just entertainment, they're places to exhale, to laugh, to feel understood, and to remember that kindness still thrives in the corners of the internet. In a space that often rewards the outrageous and the extreme, Silvervale proves that gentleness is not only powerful, but unforgettable. To watch Silvervale is to step into a world that, for however long the stream lasts, feels like a warm hug in digital form. Her presence offers something more enduring than fleeting amusement. It offers connection, sincerity, and a sense of belonging. She embodies the kind of joy that doesn't clamor for attention, but settles into your soul quietly, the way cherished memories do. Whether you come for her character design, stay for her laughter, or find solace in her emotional openness, the experiences she offers remain deeply human in the best and most comforting possible ways. Silvervale has created not just a brand, but a sanctuary, one that doesn't make people smile, but helps them heal. And in a time where genuine connection is more valuable than ever, that is nothing short of remarkable.